this video, we'll be learning how to play Dil Beparvah by Prateek Kuhad and Ankur Tiwari. I'll be showing you how to play the guitar parts by Prateek Kuhad first, and later on we'll be learning how to play the guitar parts by Ankur Tiwari. Alright. Regarding the instruments being used in the song, it sounds like a classical guitar and a guitar lele. I'm not sure if I got the pronunciation right, but I do not have either of the two instruments with me right now, so I will be teaching you this song on the acoustic guitar. Alright, so the first bar sounds like this. Before that, our guitar will be on the standard tuning as usual, and our capo will be on the 6th fret. Alright, now the first bar. Alright, so we'll start with our middle finger on the 3rd fret of our low E string, right? And we'll be plucking the low E string with our thumb, followed by your G string and the D string. Right, your G string will be with your first finger and the D string will be with your thumb. Right. So, after that you'll be playing. So that's your G string and your B string together with your first finger and your middle finger. Right? The open G string and the B string, followed by your you'll be placing your first finger of your left hand on the 1st fret of the B string, right? And you'll be plucking the G string and the B string together with your first finger and your 2nd finger. Right? So, sorry. So it'll sound like this. Right, after that you'll be playing the B string, G string, D string, right, with your middle finger, first finger and your thumb, right? Sorry. Right, that's your B string, G string, D string, back to the G string, right? So after that you'll be making the C shape, right? C shape over here, and you'll be following a similar plucking pattern. So it will be your A string this time instead of the low E string, right? And followed by your G string, your D string, G string, right? Sorry, right? Followed by so that's your A string, G string, D string. Next, your G string and your B string together. Right, open G string and your B string, followed by your open G string and 1st fret of the B string. Right, so next is your B string, your G string, D string, back to your G string. So right. Right, so you play this twice first, right? And then, it continues to the intro, right? That little intro that is played. I'll be teaching you this in the later part of the song. Right now we'll be learning the parts by Prateek Kuhad. Alright, so you'll be playing that while Ankur Tiwari plays that. Right, so we move on to the verse now. So the verse sounds like this. Right, you keep playing this till I guess it's bus iski zid hai, right? So right, so it'll be played till you reach that pre-chorus. All right, so what's being played here is you make the same shape as before, all right, and you'll be plucking the low E string first, right, and then you'll be alternating between the the D string and the G string, right? So right, so that's your D string, G string, D string, G string, and your D string, right? You do this twice, then you move to your C shape and you follow the same plucking pattern. So that's right, you do this for the verse. Alright, so after you've played that, you move on to the pre-chorus, which is bus iski zid hai, right? So in order to play that, right, you move 2 frets higher, right, making the C shape, move it 2 frets higher, and you'll be playing this. Right, so you move 2 frets higher and you play that. So that's basically your A string followed by your D string, G string, D string. So right, keep in mind that you will be playing the E, A and the D strings with your thumb, and your G, B and E strings with your first 3 fingers or first 2 fingers. So it'll be much easier if you follow if you use these fingers for the respective strings. Alright, so right, after that you'll be plucking the B string, right, and your E string back to your B string, right? After that, you're plucking the G string, D string and G string, right? Next, you'll move to the C shape over here, right? And you'll be following the same plucking pattern. Right, same plucking pattern that you followed over here, right? You'll be doing that with your C shape also, and then you move back to your first shape that you learned. So right, and you play that one more time. So after that you move on to your chorus, which is Dil Ki Aadat Yahi Hai, right? So for that we will be going back to what we learned in the beginning, right? You will be playing exactly the same, right? So the chorus. Right, so the difference between what we learned in the beginning of the video and what you will be playing for Zalim Samajhta Nahi Hai is this. So it's basically you play what you learned in the beginning of the video first. So that's right. After you've played that, you will be playing this. Right, so that's what you've played for the chorus, right? Right, and then when you go to your minor, right? So that's so what you're doing here is first you play the A string, third fret of the A string, second fret of the D string, and open G string. All right, A string, D string, G string, back to the D string, G string, D string, right? Then you place your first finger on the first fret of the D string, right, with your ring finger on the third fret of the A string, right? So same plucking pattern once again. So right, after that you move on to this. So that's your C shape, move 2 frets higher, and you play this. Right, so that's your A string, followed by your D string, G string, and your D string, right? So A, D, G, D, followed by B string and high E string. Next you'll be playing. So that's your B string, G string, D string, G string, and your D string, right? So alright, so next you go back to your this. Right, so next you will be going back to what you learned for the verses, and I guess in the later part of the song there's a little variation in the chorus section. Right, so instead of playing, right, what he does is, right, so that's basically your high E string, B string, and your G string, right? Instead of, alright, so that's one little variation over there. Alright, so those were the parts by Prateek Kuhad for Dil Beparvah. I hope you find this video useful, and if you have any questions you can leave them down below. I'll be back with Ankur Tiwari's parts very soon, so stay tuned and hit the subscribe button. Thanks.